From Torrey Gymnasium on the campus of Washington Community High School, the road to Champaign starts in mere moments. Tonight, it's the 3A Regional Semifinals, and first up, it's the Streator Bulldogs looking to knock off the reigning state runner-up Metamora Redbirds. With John Camosa, Larry Larson with you. Glad you're with us, whether you're in Streator or Metamora or somewhere in between. And John, you look at this matchup on paper, Metamora has won 25 straight games. They have been rolling, but Streator has been playing very, very well going into the playoffs.
Yeah, anytime you get into the postseason, you throw those records out the door, you throw state rankings out the door. Metamora coming in as the #1 team in the state, tied with Chicago Simeon, but it's anyone's game here in the postseason. The atmosphere, teams really get fired up for these big games. So, Streator, a team looking to knock off Metamora tonight. Metamora's got other thoughts. They want to continue their run to the state championship.
We're moments away from the national anthem. We'll step aside for a brief break. Come back with the starting lineups and basketball next on CSM.
Here is Strong Law. We're always watching out for you. Every time you lace up your shoes, every shot you take, every drive to the basket, every practice, every game you play, we are here, waiting if you need us. The same effort that you put into your craft, we put into ours. So keep taking your best shot, and Strong Law will always take the best shot for you.
That was a rousing rendition of our nation's national anthem, getting us fired up for some regional basketball here on Clutch Sports Media. Tonight's coverage brought to you by Jake Weston State Farm here in Washington. For all your insurance needs, give Jake a call, 309-444-4441, or online at jakewestoninsurance.com. Also brought to you by Domino's. Check out Domino's new loaded tots, which pair well with pizza or wings. Use code 1126 for 20% off in-store or online at Domino's.com. Metamora and Streator moments away from action. Glad you're with us on your Wednesday night. Starting lineup being introduced for both teams. John, let's dig into keys to the game, starting with Streator. I think for them it all starts with the mental game. You have to believe you can win in order to win.
Yeah, I mean, this is a game where you're going to have to play your best basketball. We've seen that throughout the year with Metamora. They really don't miss a beat. I think it starts down low, winning the rebounding battle and also defense. It's going to be big to guard the perimeter. Metamora's got a lot of different key guards that can shoot. That's going to be defense and rebounding tonight that can really help the Bulldogs.
As for Metamora, you've been as far as you can possibly go in this very tournament. Pretty much everybody back from last year's team. How do you prevent getting too far ahead of yourself?
Yeah, I think kind of going to that point you mentioned with Streator, it's, the mental game. It's staying composed. You know that you've been there before. You've played these regional games year in and year out. It's the unselfishness that Metamora has played all season, which is why they've been on this 25-game winning streak. And I think tonight is just going to take composure, play their game, and just do how they've always done throughout this regular season.
Let's get you the starting lineups. Starting with Metamora, they're the top seed in this sectional the subsectional that will end up in Galesburg. Starts with number 10, Tyler Mason, the 6'1 junior. Luke Hopp, the 6'8 junior, starts in the front court. Ethan Kaiser, University of South Alabama commit, also in the starting lineup. Tyson Swanson, arguably another one of the best players in this Metamora lineup, and it's rounded out by Drew Tucker, the glue guy. He's a 6'2 senior. Those are the Redbirds. They're in their home whites. Streator runs out Adam Williamson, Christian Benning, Logan Auckland, Landon Muntz, and Nolan Lukács. Bit of a false start on the jump ball, and now we're underway. It's won by Kaiser over Lukács. Streator comes out in a zone defense. And John, one thing that Streator is going to have to do if they want to win this game is force turnovers.
Yeah, it's going to be big tonight, and especially like we just said on the perimeter, Kaiser with the big start, but it's all going to take defense tonight for Streator.
Quick three for Ethan Kaiser. He's got a 3-level scoring ability, and you see it there. Can't give him space on the perimeter. Streator goes to the corner three. It's off the mark for Muntz. Hopp runs the transition. Kaiser again, no. Long rebound to Tucker. And it's pickpocketed by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's going to be big for Streator tonight. Like you said, Larry, forcing those turnovers and getting back, getting set in that zone.
Benning and one. How's that for a response?
Well, you can see Metamora after the miss. They like to push it in transition, kind of throw other defenses off their pace a little bit, but right there, able to force a quick turnover, which leads to a tie ball game.
Christian Benning, 6'2 junior guard, converts the and one, and we're knotted up at 3. Mason at the controls here, sneakily one of the best athletes in the area. Floats, left it short, cleans up his own mess. Kaiser, how about another 3? Kaiser 2 for 3 from deep to start, and he's got all 6 for Metamora.
And one thing that has really propelled Metamora on this 25-game winning streak is Ethan Kaiser's ability to just knock down threes. He's been such a focal point in this offense.
Getting off to a strong start, so important for Streator. That's not a strong possession. Kaiser running the break, and he's fouled. That one will go on Christian Benning. First foul for the Bulldogs. Now Drew Tucker. Back to Kaiser. Why not? Couldn't get it. Great rebound from Mason. Hopp thought about the 3, reset to Kaiser. Spin and a nice bucket on the inside from Tyson Swanson. He's just 6'2", but he's got some of the finest post moves in this Peoria area.
Yeah, and that's what makes Metamora such a versatile team. They got guards 6'2", 6'3", that can crash the boards on a miss and give them second, third chance opportunities. They don't miss a lot down low, Larry.
Benning from steps behind the line responds. And Christian Benning is rising to the occasion early, trims the lead back down to 2.
What Streator's going to have to do beyond the arc's going to be big tonight.
How do you lose Kaiser in defense so many times? And that's a travel as Swanson got tripped up. Metamora fans wanted a foul and they didn't get it.
Yeah, and that's one thing we've seen a lot of teams do similar to Streator in that zone defense. You get hung up on a guy and you leave Kaiser out in no man's land. He's going to knock him down.
Nearly a 5-second call as the ball is inbounded to Adam Williamson. Benning walks it up. Triple from the wing, left that short. That was also out of the hand of Benning, but an offensive rebound. And the floater goes. Nice bucket on the inside from Landon Muntz.
Great pass inside to get down low. And just like that, Streator right back in this ballgame.
Metamora leaning on that three early. Stay on the perimeter. Tucker all alone. He got it. And John, I don't know what it is about Streator's defense sitting back and letting Metamora shoot these threes.
Well, that's the thing. You know, Metamora, not only can they shoot threes, they're a post team as well, but I think Streator's kind of anticipating more post game right now. They're leaving them open for threes.
We'll step aside for a quick word from Uftring.
Find your perfect used car at every Uftring Auto Group dealer. All-wheel drive SUVs, hard-working trucks, economy, muscle, luxury, and more. You'll feel good when you buy an Uftring used car, because if we wouldn't sell it to our family, we wouldn't sell it to you. UftingAutoGroup.com.
Tonight's coverage brought to you by Jake Weston State Farm in Washington. Visit him online, JakeWestonInsurance.com. Also brought to you by Domino's. Try their new loaded tots. Pairs great with pizza and wings, any one of 20 Central Illinois locations. Metamora in front of Streator 11-8, and they get crafty on the inbounds play, but almost all for naught as Benning recovers. Crafty dribbling from Auckland on the inside. That shot was redirected by Kaiser. Mason, Swanson, open. You bet.
Metamora just showing how versatile they are on the offensive end. That's 3 different guys that have knocked down a tray.
Swanson with 5 points. Just so versatile. You know, none of these guys on the floor for the Redbirds are really canned up to one role.
This unselfish basketball.
Another tough bucket from Christian Benning. And Benning has 8 of Streator's 10. Another wide open 3. Drew Tucker that time. Tucker with 6.
Larry, just early on, that zone has to come up. We talk about defense, and these are, you know, threes that Metamora shoots in practice if they're going to leave them open.
Do want to apologize for our malfunctioning clock camera. We'll keep you updated on the time if that clock continues to malfunction. Matt Williamson, first bucket off the bench for Streator. Trims the lead back down to 5, 2:40 to go in the first quarter, and just like that, blink and you might miss the response from Swanson.
Tyson Swanson, such a soft touch down low. Maybe out of this timeout, an adjustment with that zone defense.
Second timeout from Streator head coach Bo Doty. And who could blame him, John? You know that this game cannot get away from you.
Yeah, I know. Streator can trade baskets on the offensive end, but you can't go back and forth and give Metamora that open of a look each time down the floor. So we'll see what kind of adjustments they make out of this timeout, Larry.
Metamora 19, Streator 12, 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Glad you're with us on CSM for our regional basketball coverage tonight. You can also tune into the 3A Peoria Regional on our main Clutch Sports Media YouTube channel. And in case you weren't sure, you're watching CSM 2. We don't have 8 channels like ESPN, but we're getting there.
Another great game in store over at Peoria High. Richwoods and Notre Dame, Two big rivals in the Peoria area. Should be an exciting semifinal.
So out of the timeout, Matt Williamson will trigger it in. And it's Benning who will run the offense. Benning picked up by Tucker, who's such a tough defender. No secret who Metamora is focusing on now. Three blocked. Mason says absolutely not. He runs transition. Swanson off the shot fake. Deep triple. Oh man. It's a shooting exhibition for the Metamora Redbirds. They lead by 10.
The thing is, if Metamora gets that open look, they're going to take it every single time. Right now, red hot.
1:50 to play first quarter, and it's all Redbirds. Benning, runner, rolls off the rim. There's Kaiser with the board. And Kaiser's fouled pretty hard. A little bit of an arm bar from Landon Muntz. And John, you look at a matchup like this. Streator, Metamora top seed. Streator, a good team, but they've struggled to play top competition this year. This is a game where literally everything has to go right if you want to win. Another three, that time left short.
I think that's just kind of been the story with Metamora this entire season. Anybody that they're going to face has got to give them their best shot.
Benning orchestrates the offense. Muntz cut off. Back to Benning. His runner in and out, back in. How about Christian Benning? You got to applaud the effort. Just a junior. This is a guy that has another year of school left. Could be a guy, at least from what I've seen in these opening minutes, that could play at the next level. Catch and shoot, triple. That one short from Mason.
Yeah, certainly a player.
Oh man, John Camosa battling through this one early. You good?
I'm good. I'm good. Got to clear that throat.
Ball tipped away by Kaiser on the inside as Lukács tried to slip it through. 38 seconds left in the first quarter. Triggered into the corner. Back up top, Muntz. Now it's Benning. And it looks like the Bulldogs will wisely hold for the final shot of the first quarter. As much as we've talked about Metamora's shooting, Streator is within 10 here. And I think you'll take that at the end of the first quarter, especially if you can get a bucket here.
Definitely. I think holding for the last shot here, big. They can get something down low.
Bulldogs treated to the boring chance. Benning trying to make something happen. Double team comes. Benning lost it. And Tucker picks it up as the horn sounds. Metamora's first quarter far from boring. They lead over Streator after one.
Start your day with a delicious handcrafted breakfast at Excellent Cafe. From appetizing avocado toast to a perfect pancake, Bloody Marys, and mimosas, our staff is here every morning to send you to work with a smile.
Central Illinois weather is always changing, but when storms pop up,
your local weather authority has got you covered.
whether you need to bundle up or dig out,
So brave the weather and hit the road.
you'll be ready with WMBD, your local weather authority.
IHSA Regional Basketball in Washington, brought to you by Jake Weston State Farm. Washington alum, like a good neighbor, Jake Weston is there. Home, auto, life, whatever you need for your insurance needs, give Jake a ring. 309-444-4441 or online at jakewestoninsurance.com. Also brought to you by Domino's. Everyone wins. When you serve up Domino's, use code 1126 for 20% off at Domino's.com or in store. That's code 1126. Maybe you're hosting a regional basketball watch party. John, this is such a great week. It's like March Madness, right? IHSA always touts that, hey, this is the original March Madness, and it really feels like it this week with all the regional basketball going on around the state.
Certainly does. I mean, there's no better time. High school games kind of flow into college basketball tournaments, and you can't ask much more in the state of Illinois than to watch basketball almost every other day.
That's Matt Williamson with the three. It's a 5-point game. In case you're just joining us, it's really been the three ball that has propelled Metamora to the lead through one. They're the top seed, reigning runner-up in the IHSA 3A class after a really heartbreaking loss to Sacred Heart Griffin that Metamora avenged in the regular season this year. Mason, open. Can't can it there. Metamora has won 25 straight. So hard to do in high school basketball. Layup left short by Benning. Offensive rebound tipped around. Now it's Mason, and we've got an injured Bulldog. Mason shows off the handles. It's a man advantage for the Redbirds. They're playing 5-on-4 and a foul as Christian Benning hobbles to his feet and immediately hobbles off the floor. And John, that is a gut punch for Streator, considering that Benning has 10 of the Bulldogs' 17.
Yeah, you know, right to the trainer's room there, has to come out. That's your leading scorer. Not good for Streator. Hope he's okay. But you need a player like that out on the floor to give you those quality minutes, especially in a close game.
Sub for Metamora, Matthew Zobrist, the 6'4 sophomore. One of the best sophomores in the area and very much possibly the state. Key coming off the bench in last year's postseason run. Swanson misses the back end. He's got 11 of Metamora's 23, so definitely some dominant individual efforts in the early going. Maybe not what you'd expect.
Hard. Tyson Swanson, that's one thing for Metamora. He can score inside and outside. He's shown both factors.
Ethan Kaiser. Defense into offense. Tucker, a lot of contact, and one.
What a finish there from Tucker. The opposite hand, able to get that friendly roll around the rim.
Second foul on Landon Muntz, starting forward for Streator. And Tucker converts. Drew Tucker, I think, is kind of the description of a hard-nosed player, right? He's scrappy, Metamora's best defender, you could argue, but also gets it done, especially on the inside.
Yeah, that's one player that he's going full head of steam every time to the basket, not afraid to hit the deck, plays with a lot of heart.
Triple from the corner, Muntz couldn't get it, and a foul underneath. And that's going to be on Quinn Baker, the 6'6" Streator center. You look at Streator's roster, Baker is the tallest player on it. You don't want him in foul trouble.
No, you do not. You need that size down there. Actually, we talked about winning that rebounding battle. It's going to be big that they crash the boards.
Look at that ball movement. Couldn't be easier for Tyson Swanson, who's up to 13 now, and that's all-team basketball in that possession.
It is. Sharing the basketball, finding the open man. That's where Metamora plays their best ball.
Adam Williamson tries to drive on Tucker. Inside the paint, no-look pass. Baker over Kaiser, left it short. Cleans up his own mess. He'll try again, too strong. Tucker into the corner, no-look pass to Kaiser. Couldn't finish.
There we go. That unselfishness again. Zobrist, great three-point shooter, had the open look. Dishes it off to Kaiser. Just couldn't get that one to fall.
Shot off the mark from Auckland. And a foul in transition. That one's on Streator's Muntz. And that's Muntz' third, so he checks out, and look who checks back in. It's Christian Benning. Good to see him again if you're Streator.
It is. We'll see how he plays on that ankle. Probably got it taped up in the training room, stretched out.
Nick Walker also gets his first action for the Redbirds. Number 15 in white. Under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Glad you're with us. IHSA 3A regional action. Metamora, one of the favorites, not only in the subsectional, but in the sectional, and then we get into super sectionals. Top-ranked team in 3A, up there with Chicago Simeon. It's a name that everybody knows, not just in Illinois. Ball tipped away. Good defense from Matt Williamson to get in there and disrupt.
And if it's any indication that Metamora wanted to get back to the state championship after coming up short last year, they've certainly showed that this season. 25 straight wins.
That is so hard to do in any sport, but especially basketball, right? Where some teams don't even play 25 games in a season. Kaiser, it's showtime. Oh, baby. The windmill from Kaiser.
Saving the best for the first game of the postseason. We've seen that a few times before.
13-point lead for the Redbirds. Benning slips by. That's a charge. Tyson Swanson in there to take it. Second foul on Benning, and that's a guy you have to keep out of foul trouble. And again, we sound like a broken record talking about this foul trouble, John, but this is a game where everything has to be perfect for Streator.
Well, we didn't even get into free throws. You foul Metamora, you put them in the bonus. This is a team that make a lot of free throws. There's really no loose ends on this roster.
Zobrist ties up that loose end in the corner. His first bucket. This is a big possession for the Bulldogs. If they can score, maybe get a three or a loud bucket that'll get their crowd going, could start to turn things back their way. Ball tipped out. That one's out off Zobrist.
You can see Metamora has turned up that defensive pressure. Almost forced another turnover right there. And 9 times out of 10, those turnovers that Metamora faces lead to points on the other end. But like you said, Larry, this would be big to get a basket.
3 left, well short for Christian Benning, and he's going to hear about it. Kaiser, can you tell he's feeling it? Zobrist was fouled on the drive. That one's on Matt Williamson. As Joko mentioned a few moments ago, Metamora in the bonus, the 1-and-1 bonus. And Zobrist will shoot the 1-and-1. And he'll have a back end. So 3 minutes flat left in the first half. A critical 3 minutes for Streator. Sense of urgency like no other when some players' careers are on the line tonight.
Yeah, and I think this is really going to take a big offensive effort, trying to get some points on the board.
Williamson breaks the press but almost lost it. Benning drives, can't score. Rebound tipped around, and it was touched last by Zobrist. Metamora fans didn't like the call. And in case you're tuning in from out of the area, Washington far closer to Metamora than Streator, and this is definitely a pro-Metamora crowd as Benning pours in another bucket. Benning up to 12. John, you ever been to Streator?
I believe I have, yeah, a couple times.
That's always my exit on the expressway on I-39. It's the Henry Streator exit. I usually turn right, so I go towards Henry, not Streator. To get to Peoria, that is. Zobrist, catch and shoot, couldn't get it. There's Hop for the board.
Great give and go.
Luke Hopp made that look easy, and that's his first bucket. Metamora is starting to run it up. All of a sudden, it's an 18-point game. Benning has been putting the team on his back offensively. Passes out of the double team. Cade Peterson can't connect. A one-armed rebound from Lukacs. And a nice layup goes down for Cade Peterson.
It's going to be little plays like that that Streator needs. When they come off in double, find the open man. Just try to work down low.
Zobrist, awkward mid-range. And the rebound to Benning. Minute 15 left in the second quarter. Benning directs traffic. Nice little Euro step. Cruises for the deuce.
Benning, just a junior, playing like a senior tonight.
Timeout Metamora. We'll step aside for a quick word from Uftring.
When you're ready to buy a used car or truck, we'll make it happen at every Uftring Auto Group dealer. With our best selection of budget and bargain cars in over a year and prices and payments you can afford. Special financing is available and you can drive home today. UftringAutoGroup.com.
Welcome back to Washington. Tonight's coverage made possible by Jake Weston State Farm here in Washington. Home Auto Life Insurance. Give them a call, 309-444-4441. And by Domino's. Everybody wins when you order Domino's, especially those new loaded tots. Use code 1126 for 20% off at checkout online or in store. Metamora trying to check this one out in the first half. It's 37-23, under a minute to go. Coming out of a Dana Greaves timeout. Tyson Swanson. What a save from Drew Tucker.
Streator almost pokes it away there.
Tyler Mason up, under, and in. Crafty bucket.
Great take up and under from Mason. We've seen that a handful of times this season. And right here, Streator need a basket.
Benning trying to give him one. Too strong. Battles for it back. Floats it up. That time he gets the touch. Incredible effort from Christian Benning.
He just doesn't give up on a play. Able to poke it back away from Mason. Put it right in the hoop.
Mason from deep. No. And that's how the first half ends. The Metamora Redbirds begin their journey possibly back to Champaign with an incredibly strong first half. 39-25 Redbirds at the break. We'll step aside for a quick break and then recap it for you after this on CSM.
Start your day with a delicious handcrafted breakfast at Excellent Cafe. From appetizing avocado toast to a perfect pancake, Bloody Marys, and mimosas, our staff is here every morning to send you to work with a smile.
Central Illinois weather is always changing, but when storms pop up,
Your local weather authority has got you covered.
whether you need to bundle up or dig out,
So brave the weather and hit the road.
you'll be ready with WMBD, your local weather authority.
IHSA Hoops on CSM, brought to you by Jake Weston State Farm in Washington. For all your insurance needs, give Jake, your good neighbor, a call, 309-444-4441, or online at jakewestoninsurance.com. And by Domino's, order their new loaded tots, and you can get 20% off the entire menu with code 1126. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. We'll have some pizza here by the next halftime. We've got Washington and East Peoria coming up next here on Clutch Sports Media. But here at the half between Streator and Metamora, John, this is an effort that you would expect from a veteran group that brings back everybody that went to the state semifinal last year, and more accurately went to the state championship and almost won it.
Yeah, I think after last season, coming up just short, you get that bitter taste in your mouth. They made a goal for themselves going into this year, and they have clicked on all cylinders. 7 or 8, 9 different guys in the team that can score double figures on any given night. It's just been a solid team effort, especially coming into this regional semifinal game against Streator. In the first and second quarter, making some big baskets, moving the ball around, and for Streator, they knew they were the underdog coming into this game, but they've hung right there with Metamora thanks to an unbelievable effort here in the first half from Christian Benning.
Christian Benning, you look at the scoreboard, he leads all scorers with 16 points, and you might think, okay, you got a player that scores 16 points. He's been able to pour it in. Maybe his team is in it. But then you look on the other side of the scoreboard, and Metamora has 13 from Tyson Swanson.
Yeah, and Tyson Swanson, it's that inside-out game that he loves to play. Not only can he knock down threes, but he likes to get down low. They dish it off to him. He's got a really soft turnaround jump shot, and then tonight we've seen just that little floater that is just effortless for Tyson Swanson. And not to mention Drew Tucker hitting some big threes early as well.
Drew Tucker having a nice game. Metamora looking not too shabby. We'll step aside for another break. Quick word from our good folks over at CIProud.com. Special shout out to whoever's joining us on CIProud.com tonight. Glad you're with us on CSM. Metamora leads 39-25 at the break.
Hi, this is Ben Whitaker, and this is Ben Whitaker's Used Cars.
Hey, everybody knows I know deals. You want Sam Lehman deals?
You want my deals.
And I'm not budget.
Ain't nobody doing deals like I do. I'm gonna bust this Sam Lehman mort. Just show me the numbers.
What? Ain't nobody beating that deal. That's how we do deals. No one else will.
I've been waiting a long time for this moment to come. I'm destined for anything at all. Downtown, lights will be shining on me. So, hey, hey.
A lot of talk about big. Big corners, big dealers, big inventory, and big lots. At Bob Grimm Chevrolet Morton, we believe the biggest point is being missed. The buyer.
We never got any surprises. When they told us a price, that's what it was. That's why I kept coming back. We just always enjoyed the way they treated us. They truly do it the Bob Grimm way, which is they treat the customer like they want to be treated.
Visit GrimmChevy.com and drive away your new vehicle your way. That's the Bob Grimm way.
The Jansen Law Center, representing Illinois injury victims for over 40 years.
Involved in an automobile crash? Take out your cell phone, touch #4-LAW, and you reach the Jansen Law Center. You have the power and experience of the Jansen Law Center behind your claim.
Jay Jansen. One name says it all.
Welcome back inside Torrey Gym. Clutch Sports Media's coverage of IHSA 3A Regional Semifinal action. Metamora all over Streator in the first half. You may have noticed, for our close viewers, they have stopped the halftime clock. And for our close listeners, you might hear a chirping sound. That's a fire alarm. Don't worry, we've been assured that there is no fire, only a fire alarm. So while they're working to fix this, the halftime clock is stopped. And, John, you might remember this happening at the Washington Tournament of Champions.
Yeah, I get a little PTSD. We had to wait outside for this. But, yeah, during the Washington Tournament of Champions, the same thing happened, which was actually more of a smoke incident there. But now, somebody said disregard it. Nothing going on. Everyone's still in the gym. No one had to evac this time, but that sound still gets to you.
Just a little bit. It's that chirping sound that we're going to have to deal with for the rest of halftime, apparently.
And I don't think we're going to play through this sound, so it's eventually going to have to come off.
Well, I would hope not. You know, some might say, or at least if you ask officials, this is what head coaches sound like during playoff basketball, but I would say it's slightly worse. Yeah. We're going to step aside so you don't have to deal with this chirping sound. We'll just take one for the team. We'll mute our mics. We'll be right back shortly. Clutch Sports Media here in Washington. Metamora 39, Streator 25. Hey everybody, you joined us at just the right time. The fire alarm has just stopped sounding. Oh no, and now it's back.
We almost thought so.
Unbelievable. The epitome of brutality. So in case you're just joining us, I see that we've got some folks hopping on, assuming the second half is about to start. The start of the second half has been delayed due to said fire alarm going off, seemingly unpromptedly, but I will say, John, I smell some popcorn in the air. They can't seem to shut it off.
It goes off, and we get a little bit of excitement, then it goes on again. Back to,
Now, I will say, if push comes to shove, do you think teams could play in this?
I think it's possible, but it would be very distracting.
I think we're done now.
I think so.
All right.
This is the longest pause we've went without interruption. So I think we're good.
Everybody take a deep breath. No more fire alarm. We've got 4.5 minutes left at the halftime break. Glad you're with us on CSM. Maybe you can't wait 4 minutes for basketball to start up. We've got some good news for you. You can hop over to our main YouTube channel or scroll up on the homepage of ClutchSportsIL.com. Tune into PND and Richwoods over at the Peoria 3A Regional. That's a fun game, John. And you look at that Peoria Regional, oh my goodness, it's a city tournament. How much fun is that?
Oh, it is. I mean, that's 4 teams all together. 2 games, rivals. Manual and Peoria High, and then Richwoods Notre Dame. You really can't ask for a better semifinal. It's going to turn out to be a great championship as well.
Should be a fun one. We'll carry that championship on Friday as well as this one. And all of our coverage this week brought to you by Domino's. Everyone wins when you order some Domino's wings, pizza, and new loaded tots. Use code 1126 at checkout, in-store, or online to get 20% off. Also brought to you by Jake Weston State Farm, 309-444-4441 to give Jake a call or visit him online, jakewestoninsurance.com for home, auto, life, or even business insurance. Visit Jake, and he'll take care of you. Like a good neighbor, Jake Weston is there. About 2.5 minutes left at the halftime break. Larry Larson, John Camosa. And you look at this second half, John, big hill to climb for Streator. Where's it got to start?
Yeah, I think it has to start on defense once again. That zone defense sagged back a little bit. They gave Metamora a lot of looks. I think you got to force turnovers. If you're Streator, you got to find some way to get back into this game in order to hang with Metamora. Like you said, Larry, you almost got to play your best basketball, and it's going to have to take a big effort in the second half.
It's going to have to happen very quickly. And maybe you missed that first half. It was really the Christian Benning show for Streator. What an incredible first half effort. 16 of Streator's 25.
You know, I think if they can continue to fuel Benning, he can keep going down low, scoring at will, and get some other guys involved around him to put up some baskets. I think that's going to be big for Streator. You need a well-rounded team effort. It can't just be one guy. That's what it's going to take for Streator to inch their way back into this game. For Metamora, just keep playing the same game you played in the first half. They've been very balanced, both offensively and defensively. So I'm sure Danny Greaves had something to say to get them even more fired up at halftime.
And before the second half gets underway, do want to shout out the Greaves family. Danny Greaves, head coach for Metamora, his daughter is battling cancer. I had a chance to talk with Danny before the game. He said his daughter is doing well, going through treatments, and she has a surgery coming up. So do want to send our well wishes out to the Greaves family. And John, you and I both know Danny's one of the biggest characters in the area, always so much fun to talk to, and we wish his family the best.
Yeah, certainly do. And, if there's one thing that we know about Danny Greaves and his family, it's that heart and the way to battle, that will to win. And, I was at a Metamora Beacon game earlier this season. I should say later in the season, but Nikki wrote a long email, kind of say she wished she was there to support the family. And then at the very end of the email, it said, "How about them Redbirds?" And we know that phrase from Danny Greaves. And you can hear it across the gym if you've ever heard him yell that.
So we've got 30 seconds left at the half. You turn towards Streator's sideline. Bo Doty, head coach, has done a great job with this Streator group this year. They've had a winning season. They come into the playoffs having won 3 straight in dominant fashion, I might add. What do you say to kind of get the boys going?
I think you just got to bring that energy in the second half. And even being an underdog in this game, 17 wins is not easy for every team to accomplish in the high school basketball season. They've still played some tough competition. You just really got to lay it all out on the line tonight. Playoff game, win or go home. It's got to be a big effort in the second half in order to get back in this game.
Metamora opens with possession, and Drew Tucker sets it up. Kaiser started the ball game with 2 quick threes. He stays on the perimeter here. Still with Tucker. Hop spins, left it short, and can't corral the rebound.
A chance for Streator here to get on the board first in the second half.
Will be one way to set the tone. Christian Benning lost it, and it's out off of Tucker. He can't believe it.
I think Tucker thought that one was going back with the Redbirds. I think Danny Greaves thought so as well.
You'll take whatever break you can get if you're Streator. The runner high off the window doesn't go for Benning. Uh-oh, Mason, sweet finger roll.
Soft touch off the glass.
Anytime you see a Redbird racing up the floor all alone, you kind of hold your breath. Even Mason can throw it down.
When you look at all 5 guys on the floor for Metamora, and all 5 can dunk.
Kaiser had a nice windmill in the first half. He Euros his way to the free throw line. See that big smile on his face there, kind of laughing with the bench. I think maybe the bench was expecting another dunk.
And you know, you could tell Metamora's having fun this season, you know, come in with that energy, joke around on the court, but still take care of business. It's good to have that in the playoffs. Just go out there and have fun.
You could say Metamora is taking care of business this year, 25 straight wins. Kaiser, the South Alabama commit, misses the first free throw. And you think about it, John, Metamora's lone losses this year on their 27-2 record came here on this floor at the Washington Tournament of Champions, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen again tonight.
No, it doesn't. You battle tested in those games as well, 2 top teams.
Halfway down and out from Benning, and a foul underneath, and looks like Benning will go to the free throw line. Rather, Landon Muntz will shoot 2. Muntz left the first one short. And John, that's one thing you can't do.
No,
need some free throws to come back.
Yeah, free throws are big down the stretch. And any points at this point.
Second one rattles home.
And I think that's kind of been the key for any team that's played Metamora this year. You can score against them, but how do you stop them on defense? I think every team's looking for that answer.
Kaiser can't connect from deep. Rebound goes to the Bulldogs. Benning shows off the handles. Nice touch off the glass. That's Benning's first bucket of the second half. Comes about 4 minutes in.
Certainly hasn't slowed down at all, even after taking that fall and going to the trainer's room. Still out there putting some points on the board for the Bulldogs.
Rebound pulled down by Lukacs. Drive and kick, mid-ranger off the mark from Lukacs. Mason. A little too much heat on that short-range pass, and it's out off of Metamora according to the officials.
Big turnover there. Streator chance to cut this 1-12 with the basket.
Metamora with some full court pressure. Some of it backs off, but even that much I think is enough to kind of fluster you, especially when you've got that sense of urgency being down 42-28.
Yeah, when they pressure you like that, when they have a big lead, it definitely makes other teams know in the back of their mind they got to score quick.
3 rolls off the rim from Benning. Had a good look at it. Tucker left alone. He thought about it. That's something that we saw a lot of in the first half. Hop, almost too unselfish. Swanson fouled.
How about the extra passes there? Just moving the ball around. We saw Tucker had an open look. Zobrist could have pulled the trigger there for 3, but it's that extra pass that leads to a foul. That's what's really propelled them here throughout this game, those extra passes.
And it's what's propelled them all season. Mason tried to slip it to the inside. The deflection went their way, though. Swanson. Kaiser, look out!
Had another dunk.
Streator defense making a business decision there. Oh, man. Benning looks for the response. He's fouled before the shot.
And even if somebody could have shifted over there, I don't know if anybody really wants to go up with Kaiser in the air.
I mean, who could blame him? You know, especially at this point in the game. I don't think there's a super high risk for injury, but there's a high risk of being plastered all over the internet with the following that Kaiser has.
A player that went viral his 8th grade year for dunks. Certainly hasn't slowed down.
You know, for a guy who was so hyped up coming into high school, I think he's done a very good job of kind of not letting that get to him. Mason's 3 in and out, and the rebound to Streator, but that's got to be such a hard thing to do, knowing that you're a nationwide name. People are expecting you to do big things like throw down windmill dunks every single game, but he hasn't let that get to him, especially these last 2 seasons.
He stayed very humble, composed.
Bucket goes over Kaiser from Lukacs. Kaiser went through so much, especially last year. Lost 15 pounds in the middle of the season because of pneumonia. That's unheard of in the middle of the year. 3 ball rattles home for Drew Tucker. Lead back to 17 for the Birds.
Streator trying to find that answer.
Christian Benning back to work. He'll go to the free throw line. And so often when Streator has needed a bucket, it's happened a lot today, it's been Benning, the guy that steps up and tries to make that answer. He's also done a good job trying to create for his teammates, but those shots just haven't gone down.
He's definitely had the answer for Streator tonight. Double figures, up to 18 points in the game, and really been that key piece for the Bulldogs.
Misses the first free throw, and again, that's something that you can't have. Benning's second, left it short again. So Benning goes 0 for 2. Kaiser scoots right past him into the near jam for Tyson Swanson. And a timeout taken by Streator as Metamora is starting to taste it. Their first postseason win of 2023 after they had a lot of them in 2022. We'll step aside for a quick word from Uftring.
Find your next used car at every Uftring Auto Group dealer with a diverse selection for everyone. Many with low miles and remaining factory warranties. You'll feel good about your Uftring used car because if we wouldn't sell it to our family, we wouldn't sell it to you. UftringAutogroup.com.
IHSA playoff basketball on CSM brought to you by Jake Weston Insurance, Home Auto Life. Give them a call, 309-444-4441. Also brought to you by Domino's and their new loaded tots. We got a special discount for you. Use code 1126 online or at checkout in person for 20% off the entire menu. Domino's, everyone wins when you serve Domino's. Glad you're with us in Washington, wherever you may be tuned in from. Heard we had some folks tuning in from Arizona pregame. Want to give them a shout out. Some Metamora fans nationwide. It's becoming a brand.
And why not? They're a hot team to watch. #1 team in the state. And their schedules consisted of some teams all over different states. One of those losses we mentioned, Larry, Winter Haven, Florida.
Some of those teams are such a spectacle at the TOC. There's Benning, nice English off the side of the rim, and Benning has a 20-piece.
Certainly hasn't slowed down, Benning, junior.
Kaiser, oh.
He thought about it.
So did Swanson. Now Tucker's the one who will take it and make it. Third try's a charm, I guess. Tucker with 15. Metamora by 20. Benning directs traffic, clears out the lane, pulls up from deep, and cashes in.
How about Benning? Trying to keep his team in this game.
And this deficit has not been for a lack of effort on the Bulldogs' part. It's just the execution from Metamora. Like this ball movement. Tucker, he's hot. Tucker up to 18.
Tucker having a great game beyond the arc.
Metamora starting on the right foot in the postseason. And honestly, John, you can't take any game for granted, but if you're Metamora, coming out and setting the tone in your very first game was really important.
Yeah, it's going to be very beneficial in the playoffs.
A foul before the lob. It's offensive. That's on Tyler Mason as Metamora is starting to change into their Harlem Globetrotter uniforms.
Larry, I think if that one would have went down, probably would have brought the house down. Student section might have fell off the bleachers there.
Tucker checks out. It's a well-deserved breather. Nearly a 5-second call. Mason plucks it out of midair. Jets all the way to the bucket and drops it in.
Now Metamora really feeling it.
Christian Benning slips through, dishes, no look. And that one rattles home just before the second half buzzer. Quinn Baker off the assist from Christian Benning takes us to a break. It's Metamora by 20 over Streator on CSM.
Hi, this is Ben Whitaker, and this is Ben Whitaker's Used Cars.
Hey, everybody knows I know deals. You want Sam Lehman deals? You want my deals.
And I'm not budging. Ain't nobody doing deals like I do. I'm gonna bust this Sam Lehman mort. Just show me the numbers.
What? Ain't nobody beating that deal. That's how we do the deals. No one else will.
Playoff basketball on Clutch Sports Media, made possible by our good neighbor in Washington. Jake Weston State Farm, our presenting sponsor all week long here in Washington for all your insurance needs, home, auto, life. Give Jake a call, 309-444-4441, or visit him online at jakewestoninsurance.com. Also brought to you by Domino's. Everybody wins when you serve up Domino's pizza, wings, or the new loaded tots. Use code 1126 at checkout at any one of their 20 Central Illinois locations. Tell them Clutch Sports Media sent you. Streator on their last breath, and they go over and back on the first possession of the quarter. And in case you're just joining us here on CSM, it has not been Streator's night. Metamora is kind of doing what they've done to everybody this year. They've won 25 straight games, and they have sliced up the Bulldogs tonight.
Yeah, they just wear you down early in the game and then really turn on the Jets in the second half. There's another one.
Kaiser goes over the defense, and he's got 14, including a few dunks. South Alabama commit, filling it up. So the winner of this game will advance to play the winner of Washington East Peoria, and that's a game that's coming up next right here on CSM. Three ball is canned. That's out of the hand of Landon Muntz. So Streator responds, but boy, is that going to be a fun game. Washington swept the regular season series, but you know what they say, Joko, it's hard to beat a team 3 times.
Yeah, and both times they played each other, extremely close games.
I think we carried both of them here on CSM, right?
We did.
Just one.
Just one?
Just one? Gavin Russell, our producer, tells us. He'd know. Last one went to overtime on Clutch, and you can go back and watch that one if you want. Yeah. Kaiser couldn't get another. That game is going to be a lot of fun. You know, anytime conference rivals match up in the postseason, it takes it up just another notch.
It does, because in the regular season, you lose, it's just another game. In the postseason, you lose and you're done. So you're going to see both these teams really put their effort into it next game. Should be an extremely fun matchup.
Ashton Greaves checks in, gets his first action. 6.5 minutes to play. Streator's probably feeling like the odd man out in this regional. Not invited to the Middle Illini party, I guess. They had a nice showing this year. Greaves thought about the triple. Mason dips it underneath into the corner, and Greaves fumbled it, but it's out off Streator.
Job by Streator to get their hand on it there. Had Greaves in the corner.
Kaiser downtown, in and out. Hop pulls it in, puts him in the spin cycle.
Nice rebound there from Hop. Able to turn around and put it in. Everybody getting involved in the scoring tonight for the Redbirds.
You could say that Hop barely needed to hop.
Yep.
Nice fadeaway jumper goes down for Landon Muntz, and he started to get going in this fourth quarter. Muntz up to 7. Mason, open. The response. They just keep on shooting. Mason has 9. John, back to this regional talk. Whoever the winner of that Washington EP matchup is, looking on Friday, they're going to give Metamora one heck of an effort considering there's that conference rivalry there.
Oh, and to bring up your point, you just mentioned it from the East Peoria-Washington game, tough to beat a team 3 times. Well, Metamora's beat East Peoria twice, Washington twice. So you know regardless of who they play, they're going to give them their best effort the entire year. And especially Washington, if they come out on top, a home game, East Peoria, Either team, I think we're in store for a great game.
Hop off the give and go. Nap of the bucket from Landon Muntz on the prior possession. Now this game turning into a bit of call and response, but it comes down to that first half when Streator just couldn't keep it close enough.
Yeah, now kind of too late for catch up here in the fourth quarter. Metamora just continues to pile it on.
Here's Hop, just slips it in. How about that athleticism from the big fella?
Almost looked like he got too far under the basket, would have to dribble back out, but no. That long wingspan, able to just kiss it off the glass, making it look easy.
Sounds like the Metamora student section starting to chant for some deep bench subs. That's classic, right? It reminds me of a Bradley basketball game a few weeks ago as Christian Benning pours in another one. Benning having a great game at 25, but Bradley in a blowout win over Murray State brought in their 2 walk-ons who had never scored in their career yet, even in exhibition games or whatever. They both came in and they both scored, including one on an incredible fadeaway jumper as Kaiser lobs it up for Mason. He can't score. Kaiser thought about the 3, and instead he turns it over, and it's a foul.
That one almost turned into NBA All-Star game play. Block off the glass.
And Ethan Kaiser's going to check out. Ends on a high note, and listen to this crowd.
Just a phenomenal effort from the top-seeded Redbirds tonight. That's one way to start off the postseason for Danny Greaves and Metamora.
Ball tipped away. Nick Walker recovers, drives, and scores. Walker on the board. It's everybody.
Great behind the back move. Finish with the left hand, and how about that? Metamora's fired up.
One more timeout here on CSM for a quick word from Uftring.
Find your perfect used car at every Uftring Auto Group dealer. All-wheel drive SUVs, hard-working trucks, economy, muscle, luxury, and more. You'll feel good when you buy an Uftring used car, because if we wouldn't sell it to our family, we wouldn't sell it to you. UftringAutogroup.com.
Welcome back to Washington. Tonight's coverage brought to you by Jake Weston State Farm in Washington. Visit him online at jakewestoninsurance.com. Also brought to you by Domino's Pizza, Wings, and new loaded tots. Use code 1126 online or in store for a 20% discount. And in case you're just joining us, especially maybe if you're a Streator fan, now might be a bad time. Metamora 71 and Streator 46, but it's been a good effort from the Bulldogs tonight, John, but simply they ran into one of the hottest and one of the best teams in the entire state tonight.
Yes. Tough draw in your first game of the postseason. Still, Streator gave their best effort, but Metamora going to continue that winning streak to 26 games tonight.
Extra effort from Alex Kostel doesn't go down, and it's tipped out. And you look at Streator's roster, it is not very senior heavy. In fact, there are only 2 seniors, Adam Williamson, a starter, and Austin Taylor. So you look at this Bulldog squad that was well above 500 this year. They bring back 4 of their 5 starters and almost their entire bench. You really got to like that if you're Bo Doty.
Yeah, you do. And you get some of those guys to come up, give you another solid year. especially Benning to round out that lineup. He's a strong player, really a good senior. But tonight just going to come up short. But still a lot you could pull away from this game. You did go against the top team in the state.
Caden Hartnett, the football star, picks up a bucket on the hardwood. If you were with us all fall, you know that Caden Hartnett made a lot of noise on the gridiron. And Streator turns it over. I do want to address a comment in our comments section. I want to appreciate all of our viewers that take the time to live comment. Somebody says, to be fair, Streator doesn't belong in this regional. And honestly, you look at the geographic setup, and if you're Streator, you probably feel a little bit slighted that you're in this regional and you draw Metamora, but I think anybody would feel that way if you got Metamora in your first playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, you know, the seedings come out, pairings come out, you see who you're playing, a team that's 25 straight wins under their belt. It's a tough draw for any team.
And you look at Streator, they're on the smaller end of 3A. That's not ideal either. Going in and having to play some larger end Middle Illini schools in Class 3A. Not ideal. Ball taken away by Greaves. One-on-one, he slips by for two. And honestly, you dig into that, I just want to say I'm glad I don't make the bracket because that's a mess.
Metamora looking to get another one with some reserves.
Walker, oh wow. Nick Walker says, I've got some bunnies too.
Danny Greaves probably loves to see this. You know, his team's up big, but guys off the bench, just continuous effort, steals. Nick Walker ends up on the highlight reel with that one.
Final possession of the game for Streator. It's a turnover, and it's dribbled out as the Redbirds roll over the Streator Bulldogs. 77-46 the final score, and a well-deserved standing ovation from the Metamora faithful.
Yeah, just an extremely great team effort by Metamora. Unselfish basketball like it's been all season long. Drew Tucker making some noise. Ethan Kaiser with some big dunks. Great win for the Redbirds.
Step aside for a quick break. Back for more after this.
I've been waiting a long time for this moment to come. I'm destined for anything at all. Downtown, lights will be shining on me. Hey, hey, hey.
One more time, want to thank our great sponsor, Jake Weston State Farm here in Washington, for making tonight's broadcast possible. Give them a call, 309-444-4441. For all your insurance needs, it's Jake Weston State Farm. And Domino's for all your pizza and wing needs. Also heard they've got some good loaded tots these days. Visit one of their 20 Central Illinois locations, including 4 in the Peoria area. How about you order Domino's tonight? Because we've got some more good basketball coming up. And if you use code 1126 at checkout, you get 20% off. And that's both online and in store. Domino's.com. Back to wrap this one up, Larry Larson, John Camosa. And John, Metamora simply took care of business against a Streator team that had a lot of success this year. Their season comes to an end. It's always bitter when that happens. Do want to commend the Bulldogs for a hard-fought game, despite what the score will tell you.
Yeah, and I think, you know, Streator knew that coming in, going up against a tough team. They gave it their best effort tonight, but coming up a little bit short. Metamora, Larry, if you watch this team, you go back and you watch them on Clutch Sports Media or you watch them in person, Metamora just really has not slowed down once this season, and they continue to turn up that tempo tonight. You know, great first quarter, great second quarter, and then just really turned it on in the second half, especially guys off the bench late. Just a well-rounded effort, and Metamora deserving of this win tonight. One step closer to their ultimate goal of getting back to the state championship.
So the Redbirds win their 26th consecutive game, and they don't want to stop anytime soon. They'll face the winner of Washington, East Peoria, coming up next here on Clutch Sports Media. Be sure to refresh your pages if you're watching on the website. If you're watching on YouTube, you can find that game coming up next here on this same channel, Clutch Sports Media 2. So far, our entire crew, Charlie Schermerhorn working hard on camera, Teddy Ball on socials, our producer, Gavin Russell, and for my partner, John Camosa. This is Larry Larson saying thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you in a short bit for Washington, East Peoria.